impromptu live. I don't know about you, but this is also a full blood moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. Yes, tonight, right now. It may not be when you're watching this. However, we all know that moon energy has a shadow period of a couple days before and a couple days after. Either way, I wanted to talk about Charlie Sheen. Now, when he was doing like at the beginning of his career, like his one of his first movies, Platoon, I loved all of his early work. But then I noticed his work was declining, or it didn't have the same energy, I guess would be. Um, and his show, Two and a Half Men, never liked it. I actually didn't like him the whole time while he was doing that show. I didn't like him at all. I knew something was off. It just wasn't him. Um, and, to come full circle now, where I just watched his GMA interview, um, talking about his 2011 interview, and he said, I don't even recognize myself. And I'm like, yes, yes. To me, that's why I'm so excited. That's transformation right there, because he has the awareness and he can actually look at himself without shame, without guilt, without any of those um, trauma or even addiction type emotions. He has transformed. And then, even before that, hearing about the millions of dollars that he has donated to charities. And he didn't want anybody to know about it, but clearly somebody found out about it. And now we know that he is very charitable as well. Now, whether that's part of his atonement, which, we don't, we already are perfect children of God, but there's always that piece where if we overgive, we overdonate, we overshare, whatever that is. If we're oversharing, we're overextending ourselves. That is actually, well, we know this. I've been doing a lot of work with clients. I've done a lot of trauma work on myself and ancestral trauma healing going backwards 7 generations. It's proven. Go look it up. But it didn't start with me, and it didn't start with Charlie Sheen. This addiction, this trauma, this ancestral healing has been going on for a very long time. For him to come out now is amazing. For him to heal his addiction, amazing. Ozzy Osbourne, there's been so many celebrities or people who are under the public eye or under a lot of scrutiny who have healed. So what does that mean? Sure, you could say, oh, they have all this money and they have the team and it's easier. I'm sorry, but when you have an addiction, it doesn't matter how rich you are. It doesn't. And how many, and even including Charlie Sheen, how many times has he gone into rehab? So don't tell me money will solve your problem. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So I'm super excited to see Charlie Sheen coming out, Charlie Sheen sharing his story, because he's actually giving people, he's inspiring people, he's giving people hope where there's a lot of hopelessness in the world, where there's a lot of trauma in the world, where there's a lot of people that just say, why? I've tried so many times. Why should I try now? And I say, why not? Why not? Are you not worth having your comeback, whatever season that happens to be in? Let me know as well where you are in the world. If this is your first time here, I would love to know where you are. But yeah, I watched that interview. And as well, I was super excited. I love Dr. Gabor Mate. If you don't know who he is I'd say he's the founding father. There's been many, many, many. But in this time, right now, for trauma and for addiction. I mean, this man spent 15 years on Hastings Street in Vancouver, East Hastings. Go look it up. If you don't know what that is, if you think Canada is full of rainbows and unicorns, let me tell you, you are wrong. There is addiction everywhere, in every corner, in every neighborhood around the world. We are not immune to this. We all have some type of addiction, whether it's a drug. Food is a drug. Come on. And how is it alcohol is the most, oh, if you don't have a drink, there's something wrong with you? That type of attitude has got to change too. We are not helping people. And let's stop enabling people and each other as well. So, yes, there, and it's interesting. I had my sister come in from out of town. Well, she's not really out of town, she just doesn't live in the city. And we're walking around downtown, and she just couldn't believe what she saw. And she even told me that people are just out, right out in the open, shooting up on a bench. Come on to Calgary. There's no problems here. Not at all. There's nobody unhoused. There's nobody addicted. There's nobody with mental health trouble. No, not here. Because Calgary is trying real hard to be like Vancouver and Toronto. And I say, why would you want to even? Why? I say we do better than that because they're not helping anybody there either. So I want to give a shout out to my friend Can Man Dan, Daniel Johnstone. He actually is out in Edmonton, and he actually put a call out to the Edmonton City Council to reinstate their 10-year plan to have nobody unhoused. He put them on notice. Enough time for talking. It's time for action. No more fighting. No more shifting the blame. Quit causing separation and division. How do we heal? How do we do this? We do this together. Together. So, let me know where you are in the world and what's going on with you. What do you think about Charlie Sheen coming out and speaking so openly about his addiction and how he doesn't even recognize who he is from 2011? Like they showed the clip there. If you want to go, I can link the Good Morning America clip. But he says, I don't even recognize who I am. And that's exactly what it is. It's a transformation. And why would you want to be the same person you were 14 years ago or even last year? Change is always happening. Change is ever evolving. And we need to be part of the next evolution. And I get that. Well, how can I change anything? Everything looks terrible. Who am I? I'm just one person. You start with yourself and then you work your way out. Start with your neighbors. Start with your friends. Start with your family. That's how change happens. Let's not become complacent. Let's not put our head in the sand and pretend it's not there. If I don't see it, it's not there. No, it's there. It's there. It will come back around like a retrograde and smack you upside the head. It's there, okay? Saying hello to Rip, Ghetto, and GG Craft. Hi. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Yes, I am live. And my last installment I have a chakra challenge. Go back and have a look, but we've already gone through the root chakra and the sacral chakra. Now we're working on the solar plexus. So that will be coming out tomorrow. But when I saw Charlie Sheen pop up today, and then I heard about him and all of his donations, I'm like, okay, I need to talk about him because I never really liked him, especially during 2.5 Men, because it was fake. It was false. He was wearing a mask. It just didn't connect for me. And now that he's come out, you can see the night and day. Like his face is different. The way he speaks is different. In fact, I almost feel like he has a bit of damage to his brain or something, because when he spoke, I can't put my finger on it, but there was a bit of a stutter in there, so I don't know what that is. He didn't talk about that piece, but, Any type of drug in excess does cause damage, whether you see it right away or you see it a lot later on. I mean, when I meet people and they find out I'm 51, they're like, no freaking way. Well, that's because I changed my whole lifestyle. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I eat plant-based. I mean, your body is a temple. Treat it like one, right? Um, as well, I don't know if you caught this, but there was a summit that just happened the last 3-4 days called Healing Days. It had Dr. Gabor Mate in it. It had Marissa Peer. And I just finished watching Teal Swan. So if you don't know any of these people, go look them up. They are amazing. And let me say, Dr. Gabor Mate is 81 years old. And he is still talking about trauma. He is releasing a new book with his son. They actually did a workshop together. It's a reparenting workshop. Um, Reconnecting with your children in a totally different way, not a induced way, not a toxic way. This is the work. This is the catalyst of the work that I love, and I know that's why I'm here, is to help other people navigate through that. So, because I get a lot of people that say, "Well, I'm just here to pay bills and die." That breaks my heart. You are meant for way more than that. The fact that you're watching this and listening to this, and you're probably, and just like me when I started out in 2017, why am I watching this video? Well, it was delivered. There are no, I believe in more than coincidence. I believe in divine setup. So, if any of this resonates for you, there will be more content coming out. But I was so inspired by the speakers in this healing summit talking about trauma, talking about addiction, talking about intergenerational trauma. We have come so far. I like I said, I'm super inspired. I'm reignited because I tell you, there was a period of, I truly believe I'm always ahead of the curve. And I guess it's a lesson for me from spirit to have more patience, because not everybody is ready to hear your message, to hear your words, to resonate with your energy. You actually have to be aware that you have a problem, that there is a problem. And Teal Swan talked a little bit about how there's constant friction within ourselves. For example, I'm a competitive baseball player, but I feel guilty about being competitive. That's friction. That's friction. And she says we are all fractals, like we fragment ourselves when we do that, because we're not going there and investigating why we feel that way, our emotions. She also said that this world is emotionally void. I'm like, thank you. Yes, yes, we are. Think about the Dark Ages, like 1700s, way back then. They were like physically void. Why were they putting people's heads on stakes? Because the body didn't matter. Killing another human being didn't matter, right? So now we've moved into this so-called evolution, but we're emotionally void, where we celebrate the mind and the body, like the academics, the science, all of that, but we could care less about our emotions. Got it wrong. Got it wrong. Like they said, the body keeps score. The body keeps score. Why is MS so prevalent? I mean, there are other factors, but it has to do with the emotional body. When you ignore your emotions, it will track somewhere else, to the point where you actually have to ask people for help now because your body is so physically disabled. Thank you. So many light bulb moments. If you want a link to healing days, I will send that to you as well. And Dr. Mate actually has a healing course that's just come out as well. So looks like I'll be learning a little bit more. And you know what? If you're not learning, you're not growing. We are always learning something new. So to say that you know everything, you know nothing. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little impromptu chat about Charlie Sheen. Let me know if you have any questions. Are you struggling with anything right now? Because I, I tend to be the person that a lot of people will go to, because I don't sugarcoat anything. And when you have a nail in the forehead, I don't know if you've heard that analogy, but what do you tend to see? Just the nail. You are blind to everything else around you. So to have someone like myself, or maybe you have someone in your life to reflect what can be seen in plain sight, but when you're too focused on a problem, you can't see it. And or you are not ready to see it. I think that's the other piece. And but when will you ever be ready? When? Like when you go to college or you're going into high school. Are you ready for that? No, you just go. You just go for it. Are you ready to play an instrument? No, you just practice and keep practicing. And that's really all it is. Like Buddha says, chop wood, carry water. So, anyways, I was super excited to talk about Charlie Sheen. Let me know if you are dealing with any type of addiction, any type of trauma. And also this piece with trauma that Teal Swan pointed out as well. We focus way too much on the big T trauma. What is the big T trauma? Oh, I don't know. Losing loved ones, getting in a major car crash, having like a major illness. Oh, okay, those are more important than losing your husband or wife, like a divorce, maybe being separated from your children, maybe not getting that job, maybe not getting into college. Though all those little things, they add up to one big thing. So we have got to stop just focusing on the big traumas. We all have our trauma. No one's trauma is more than someone else's. We're not going to cause separation and division. We are going to practice empathy and compassion and listening, not fixing. Because I had that conversation with my sister too. I don't want to feel like I'm venting all the time. I'm like, well, then you can ask, is it okay if I vent with you today? Or is it okay if you can offer me some advice? Are asking for permission? Why not? Then you're not dumping on people. Because, hey, I used to do that. If you dump on people all the time, all of a sudden they're not going to be available. They don't want to hear from you anymore. If you're a broken record, complaining, being negative, I mean, I get that. Again, there are 3 stages to recovery, whatever you're recovering from. There's the victim. Then there's the survivor. Okay, victim, yes. Survivor, that's a natural stage. And then 3 is thriver, meaning you've moved on from these 2. But what happens is a lot of people get stuck in a survivor story, meaning I'm a survivor, and that's all they talk about. And then they kind of revert back into the victim. But I see a lot of people who are victims that do not want to do the work. They blame everybody else. They shame. They guilt. Yes, you can call that narcissism, and everybody has a piece of it. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. We all have narcissistic tendencies. But some of us don't know where the line is and are not self-aware. Not self-aware. And it is a learned behavior. I don't care what anybody else says. It is learned. It is learned. And it is a behavior that can change at any time. Now, of course, we don't want to get into extremes. There's sociopath and then there's psychopath. And many of them run the world, just so you know. I'm sure you're aware of this. Why would you be watching or being part of my channel? I tend to, well, actually, I have avoided politics until recently. I started door knocking with a potential candidate in Calgary because I actually wanted to see what people were saying, what people are struggling with, and if this said candidate actually walks the walk and talks the talk. I was delightfully surprised. Yes, he does. So now I'm kind of like, okay, I really like this. And really, it's about community. We're all hardwired for connection and collaboration. All of this infighting with the city, the province, the government, it's a game of hot potato. They're just throwing it around. No, you take it. No, you take it. No, actually, we're not going to take it anymore. We want real change. And it starts with us. It starts with us. We are dismantling the system as it's happening in real time. I'm pretty excited. I know there's a lot of people that are scared or they see the worst. Or it will never change. Who am I? Well, actually, you're pretty powerful. Stop giving your power away. Stop being complacent. Stop putting blame somewhere else where you can actually effectively change for yourself. And it naturally radiates out. That's what we call it, light work. The more you work on yourself, the more that your energy, your light expands out. And how is no one or nothing affected by that? So, whatever you're passionate about, go and do it. Just go and do it. Go have fun. Be the change you want to see in the world. It's fairly simple. But it took me a long time to realize that. And I know that the kids coming in now are way ahead of me, which is good. They're already preloaded. They already know these things. Despite what society wants to put on this generation, that generation. See how we're causing division and separation? With labels. With labels. That's all part of the plan, and I don't play the game, so it's really, and Gabor also talks about gut instincts. That's why I teach intuition development. That's why I teach empowerment. That's why I teach energy, because you need to know yourself so well that when someone says something to you or someone does something, you call BS right away. And you hold to that BS meter. Yes. And you're going to watch people go, oh, wow, they don't do what they used to do for me anymore. So then they leave. Good. Bye. Bye. Go try and take advantage of someone else. And that's why we have so many gut issues, because we're not trusting our guts. We're not trusting our gut instincts. I mean, yeah, there's the food piece and the other pieces. But again, the body keeps score. I'm seeing so many videos on YouTube lately about the fascia and somatic practices. Why? And it was explained to me. The fascia keeps the trauma score, the emotional score. And it's like the Spider-Man suit. When you put on the suit, that's the fascia. So then it also works, it intertwines with the nervous system. They are all interconnected. So when you're not releasing emotions, allowing them to go through your body, you're not releasing them, you're not moving your body, you're not practicing breath work and meditation and chakra work, when you're not practicing self-care and you are not aware of the energy you're putting out into the world, but you're also welcoming into your world, the fascia, that's why so many people will have back trouble, sciatica pain. Ooh, that's a big one. And why? Well, that's from sitting too much. That's part of it. Our lifestyle, we're sitting on the computer, we're on our phone all the time. Look at me, I'm on the phone right now. Um, it's all connected and interconnected. My God. Ah, you know, and that's why I want to finish my soul's contract in this lifetime. I don't want to come back. I don't want to come back. And if you're like, this lady's crazy, great. You're not crazy. I'm not crazy. We're just waking up to the fact that everything that we have been fed, whatever it was, read, spoken to, taught in school, by our parents, whatever it was, is bullshit. There, I said it. I said it. And if YouTube wants to cut me off or whatever, I really don't care. I really don't. I've actually removed all of my social medias off my phone, except for YouTube. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But if you would like me to work with you, if you would like me to speak in your city, your town, your neighborhood, I would love, 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 love. Maybe host a retreat as well. I do travel the world quite a bit, and I'm scheduled to be in Ireland and Scotland next year. So I would love to visit you there as well. But I also hold mentorships, events, and workshops. And if I'm inspired by a gentleman, now his name has escaped me, but I saw his interview pop up. He's known as the Coffin Guy, and he did a TED Talk all about the work that he does, which was based on a joke. Here's the joke. His friend was dying from an incurable disease many, many years ago. I mean, that's not a joke, but it's serious. And he said, John, I want you to speak at my funeral. And he's like, okay, sure, no problem. He's like, what about? He's like, well, I know there are going to be people that'll come out of the woodwork who haven't spoken to me in 30 years. People that are ready to stab me in the back. There was my so-called friend who's trying to sleep with my wife while I'm laying in my deathbed. I want you to tell them all to F off. Sit down, shut up, and F off. I think that was the title of the TEDx talk. Go look it up. This man went from a joke to now making $3,000 to $15,000 per funeral. And I'm like, oh yes, I could do that. No problem. I could tell people where to go. No problem. I have no qualms about that, because I honestly, the worst type of people, and a lot of them are family members, and I've seen this in many of the mediumship sessions I have done with clients. They are fighting over somebody's money, objects, whatever it is, dogs. You could give two shits about this person while they're alive for 30 years. But as soon as they die, oh my gosh, no, that money's mine. Those books are mine. That house is mine. Terrible. That is like the lowest form of, that's just really low. And it causes so much division and grief and separation and a lot of unhealed trauma. And there's no need for it. So I applaud this man that goes to these funerals and tells people what the person that has passed wants them to know. Because if it came from the person, they wouldn't listen. They wouldn't care. But imagine being a fly on a wall in that funeral parlor. Mm. Sounds like a reality show. Anyways, yeah. So I started on here talking about Charlie Sheen, but I have ended on a note with basically, you only have so many Christmases left. You only have so many summers left. And actually, you don't even know when your exit point is. So, my point is, go live your life. Go do the thing that scares the shit out of you. Go do the things that people tell you you can't do. Go frickin' do them. And I want to hear about it because this community celebrates people like you.